Hello and welcome, and this is a video from Binance, which if you go on TradingView, well, if you see the button on their exchange, I go to basic. I don't play the advanced. I like the basic. Sites like CoinFalcon, the basic is terrible. Many mistakes can be made where if you buy and sell there, you can get bad prices, which is, I guess, for people like myself with buy and sell orders ready to go, outstanding. But there, you have to go advanced there. The advanced here, it's very hard for me to navigate through different coins. Like, what happens now if I want to go to, like, just look, I guess I go to here, and you know what? I don't really need that. I got my buy and sell here. This is fine. But within the basic, and I can't even go to my toolbar here. Do I click on Binance in this and go to basic this way? Then I have everything at my disposal as and such. I can view the bid and ask orders on the left hand side, and in this case, I'm looking at Litecoin crossed with the US dollar, 77.46, 77.38. Not a tight spread. That's what I like to see. For if I want to be the maker, or excuse me, if I want to be the taker rather. Thus, if I'm looking to buy, I'll spend for 77.46. If I'm looking to sell, I'll sell at 77.38. Then I realize the spread's not so bad. Of course, the rake here, you need at least have one Binance coin to do such, or enough to cover it. You can only buy one as a minimum order, of course. But BNB, if you have that, 0.05% rake. So that's fantastic as well. But I can see all of the trade history here. I got my buy orders here. I don't use stop limit. I use limit order every single time. I will never push market or stop limit. It's always limit price for me. So I put in the price I want to buy at. And of course, if I'm going to buy now, I'll just type in again 77. And for what it's worth, just to be safe, I'll type in like 77.50. And I know I'm just going to get the best price every time, and then put in what I want, and then I'm ready to go. Same thing on the selling. And then if I'm looking to be like, okay, I want to start playing the game now. I got Litecoin. So what I'm going to do, say I start trading right now. I buy X amount of Litecoin off someone, and I got it transferred to this site. I'm ready to go. Well, then what I would do, because I am still unsure about the market, I don't feel too comfortable being in cash 100% or 0% into cryptos at this stage. Thus, I would sell most of it, well, for both Bitcoin and US dollars, USDT. And then what I would be doing in here, I'd be probably for now mainly trading on this market, especially if I'm starting with a lower size balance where I can only have a handful or a selected amount of crosses. I think at this stage it's very important to find coins that you think are going to be safe, in the sense that if cryptos do well, these coins are going to do well. That's the definition of safe. So Bitcoin, I think Binance Coin should make that list. Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, Ethereum itself. IOTA, I don't know. I heard good things about IOTA. Litecoin, I think Neo's on that list because of its Chinese Ethereum. But I don't know about Ontology. I don't know about Qtum, but it's definitely research you'd want to get into. Monero, I think, although it's not on this exchange, is another. Ripple, that's an interesting one. It's one of the more confident ones I would have of not going to horrible numbers. But if you can find the coins that are legit, or the ones you are most confident ones, they're the ones you want to get in. There's a larger plethora of coins when you include the Bitcoin exchange. And in some cases, if you want to play other coins, obviously many of these you cannot trade against the US dollar unless you do it manually, and you can do it such as well, where you're calculating what the price is in dollars for any of these coins you want to trade. And then you, based on, okay, I want to sell it at so many dollars, and then you just manually know what the price of, say, what do we, this is AION, that's like a whatever coin. It's been going down. And whatever. If you want to see, well, what's the price of it? Well, it's 1,500 Satoshi ish, so that would be about 16, or well, just trying to think of 10 cents, 11 cents, 12 cents coin. But regardless of the fact, okay, I'm looking to buy it at 9 cents. So when it's valued at 9 cents, that's when you would take your US dollar tether, buy Bitcoin, then buy this coin. Maybe you want to sell this now at a certain dollar price, maybe at 40 cents, and it gets to 40 cents. So you sell it to Bitcoin, then you sell Bitcoin to US dollar tether. It's an extra step to get to where you need to want to go. If Ethereum is the coin that you like, well, you got a large plethora of coins as well, some of which I think, but I'm not too sure, are just primarily traded to Ethereum. I've seen that on many occasions before with different exchanges, where for some whatever reason you can only buy and sell it on Ethereum. Then you got the Binance coin, and I like this one again for higher volatility. You can get some nice buy and sell ticks, sort of like this one in here, on a more likely rate on the Binance exchange than you would on the US dollar or the Bitcoin exchange. Now within this, you got original trading view for different charts. I got this on trading view. If you want the 18 on here, I removed the averages it had, and then I went to insert indicator. I would click on twice on moving average weighted. I like the weighted one myself. And then when it comes up, it's going to come 9 and close, but you go to format, length, I go 18. One of them is the high, one of them is the low. So if I were to start, and of course what you do is your own risk, own reward. I would probably go half into currency and the other half into Bitcoin, markets I plan on trading, Binance coin as well, although I probably would definitely trade Binance. I don't know if I would trade it against the US dollar or against Bitcoin. I might use it as one base currency to trade one or two different things. I'd probably be limited if I started to only playing about 10 or 12 different coins. Coins like Theta is one interesting one that probably has a good risk reward long-term one of playing that. This, if I was to only pick about 9 or 10 coins, this would be one of them. Digibyte unfortunately isn't on the list. Litecoin is most certainly going to be one of them. EOS I've heard good things about too. That would probably be one of them. Ethereum would be one of them. Ethereum Classic would be one of them as well. And I do, because I would have half my equity into USDT. If I deposited, say, $1,000, I'd put $500 into USDT. Use some of it to trade within the base markets of other cryptocurrencies, but a lot of it at buy orders at big levels, which means Bitcoin at 3,000, Litecoin at like $40, and whichever other coins you calculate. If you're looking at stuff like like Ethereum, for example, which is 436, maybe you're looking to get in at 250 or 200, and then at that point there, you'd be just looking to get these values. But when these markets can show to me that they're ready to get going again, and unfortunately all I can use here is the weekly term chart. I have no way of putting a 2-day, 3-day, 5-day, and a 7x move in between periods is kind of big. I kind of think, just like in poker, you need to have your increments higher in blinds, where in poker blinds you want to go from like 20 to 30 to 40, 60, maybe like even 80 if you want to go tight, or 60 to 90, but 50% higher, 40, 50, 60% higher in blinds each time you increase it. And each time in this, where you increase levels, I'm a fan of about 3 to 4 times larger each time. So you go from, if you're going from daily, you go for like daily, then 3 days, then weekly. And if you go daily, that's why I have the 400-minute chart on my normal ones. And then from that, I got like the 3-hour-ish, then the 1 hour. And then depending on the situation, maybe it's the 15, 30, depending on which one has the best point of view. But if I like to go 3 or 4 times larger, and I guess I can show my trading view normal site for such an analysis. And this is the 3-day chart that I'm looking for. I need this to show me on this time frame that the bear market is over. 4 in here, it got to it, fell, second hit level 6K. Got to it here, third hit level 6K, and it's still on the lower end. So I need to see the 18 average do the things like flattening out, get above it, come back, break it all, and it's got a long ways to go that the eventual price is going to be very expensive. And you're still not guaranteed, even though you see a confirmed bull market, that it's not going to be a fake out. But most times you're going to be safe and such. Because when we look back at the previous time of a bear market, when you were looking for such, at least we're going to go through the previous bull market. So here's where you would have seen it going down. And there's your level up to this point, but it doesn't take it out. So you would have need to see it get like around 726. But if it goes lower, that means now it's going to be cheaper to buy. So here's a spot where you got the market flattening out, but it has another leg lower. Okay, now we're seeing some progression here at about 267. The 18 average went flat. It established a level of resistance. It's come back. Okay, and then we see some more, and like silver right now in its monthly time frame, spending a lot of time in the correctionary phase. Maybe that's a little sign. But here we have moved back to it again. So further momentum here. Nope. Okay, so there we go. I was a little too fast. Okay, so now you're buying at about 346, 340. And as we can see with the size of these green candles, you have to be fast. And it's a little discomforting buying when it's overextended as it is, which means you could be passing on the buy, waiting for it to come back to like 300. Although it might be favored, you would get the buy order in, and well, let's just put it this way, at 300 I would have been so darn lucky because 294 was the bottom. But that is the thing right there. You see, okay, so you're paying in the 300s. If you waited just to buy here, 300s was available for quite some time. So overall, if you wait for strength, you're always going to have to buy well above where the lows happen to be. But at the same point, when you do such an event, the advantage compared to buying it back in here, other than the fact that you could trade back and forth and outperform the market and make some plays here and there, other than that point of view, that when you buy on the spot where you start to see strength, that you usually get instant gain. In this case, you would have, of course, seen it just do a fast move up to 20, as we can see in this case. So if it ends up going down to 3,000, then, and it happens to be a bottom, say, in here, I mean, you might not be buying until minimum at least up to here. And even doing such, that you're only getting a little bit of a better deal than you are now. So I have a hard time doing such. I would rather just keep on selling on the way up and then buying on the way down. So I have no problem buying now if I haven't bought, because I realized I should have bought here. Made a little bit of trades, get a bit of buyback, sweet. Very small amount of trades here. Okay, still profit. Oh, get the buyback. So there's no need, if I've already entered in at this point, already at 6,000, whether it's here or here, why I'd want to do so. In fact, I would have been like buying in here as well. And then, oops, you lost. Buy here, trade a bit, but everything's now buybacks. And then, yeah, I'll buy at 3,000 again. And then if it goes to 1,000, I'm going to say this, technical speaking, if I was to get in, yeah, I'd be buying again. Because I realize that that's a 61.8% correction from this low and this high. So then back to Binance. Those are the situations that I look for. So getting into the way I play it now, I would be buying those buy orders in at 3. From that point on, I'd be then, as I am doing, as it is anyway with my buy orders, I'm going to be looking to get into altcoins and a larger portfolio size as far as what I'd be owning in Bitcoin numbers and altcoin numbers. And if a situation happens where the market doesn't hit those buy orders one way or another, meaning it bottoms now or it bottoms at higher numbers, like 4,000, 5,000, and so forth, then I'm going to be forced to have to wait for confirmation to buy that back, and it's probably going to be expensive. Now for me, because I got a whole bunch of Bitcoins and other coins, I'm not going to do that because I'll just eventually add to my hedge. But as a beginner, and when I say beginner, that means an entry-level position, and I'm talking about smaller entry-level positions, then I would probably use that to buy back into the market at like whatever bullish price it happens to be. And within such the idea, because I'm confident I'd want to buy at 3, I would rather buy the Bitcoin now to do that, thus having to buy Bitcoin off of somebody or someplace, Coinbase, people that you know, all that type of stuff. Heck, I bought it at a gas station and then vending machines. Wherever you buy it, you buy it. So I would buy it, and then again, like I said, I would turn it into TUSD, USDT, and then put the buy order in. And then I know I don't have to be active to buy it. And these fast pierces that come to it, is the easiest way to buy it is via that of the order. And if getting in at 1,000, well, I would wait to deposit later, and I would have a plan for that. How much could I afford to do? Hopefully, it's something that would happen like late in the year into 2019, if such an event there were to occur, so I can then build finances up for such. So then I would be, again, I'd be getting into a few of these codes in here. The ones that I'm confident with. Bitcoin, I mean, there's so many on here. It's really not fair for me to go out and talk about it. It looks like Cloak is a good one. It's definitely got amazing volatility. I am trading Cloak /BTC on this exchange. It's unfortunate it's not traded on the BNB one. You also got Dash. I think it's got something you'd want to consider getting into as well. And if you want to say, oh man, I want Dash, but I want to trade against the dollar. Okay, well, you got Poloniex at 0.1% as a maker of the market. Bittrex 0.25, and there's a whole bunch of other sites as well that you can do such on as well. But just talking about Binance on this case, there's so many different coins to the point where I look at the ones here. Komodo's on this list too. That's something I would be very confident I don't think is going to fail if the crypto markets go into default. Well, a lot of the, yeah, as long as cryptos do well, it's going to do well. That's another way of putting it. LSK I have a funny feeling about, but that's, I mean, I hate to play on instinct. I'd rather play on mathematics and the numbers game and all that type of stuff. PivX is an interesting one as well that I think is good with, as long as the other cryptos do well. Steam, I think, and Steam Dollars. Steam Dollars doesn't seem to be on here. Again, I mentioned Theta. But even the old ones, I don't know really anything about Waves. Maybe it's great, maybe it's not. I've traded it, and I'm holding it right now. I'm trading it on here. I think it's against BNB, though. And BNB is something I like trading its exchange on. And as we can see, Waves is on here. So I am trading it on this particular exchange here. So with the other half, again, like I stated, if I'd have $500 worth of Bitcoin, I'd buy all of the base currencies I want to trade. I'd buy Binance coin, and I'd probably have a bit of Binance coin back for buy orders. Say it's Theta I trade on here, maybe Steam, maybe a couple Bitcoins. I might not have as many Bitcoins because when you look at how many you should have, it should be reflected on how much of it is on your base currency and how much you think it's going to overperform other currencies. And of course, in a down market right now, it's doing very well at overperforming Bitcoin, that is, against all of its competition. But when I say overperforming, that means Bitcoin has only lost 2 times its value from its high, or near such, where other ones have lost 3, 4, 5, 8 times, and so on and so forth. If you have any questions, that I haven't went over, go ahead and let me know. But having the 18 average on here is, I mean, it saves. I don't know what's going to happen on, I'm using a different browser, so I'm logged in right now on a different one. But it's probably better for me to show this when I'm not logged in. But yeah, another thing that I want to talk about is this here. This is what I meant to go over. I always click on this. I know I don't have any orders on here, but I click on this, hide other pairs, so I can see only the orders in here that have the base currency that I'm trading. And it's easy to cancel them. You can push the cancel all. And for order history, this doesn't usually work. It's a 24-hour one, first of all. So if you know there's orders, like what buy order or sell order did I cancel a few hours ago? Well, you know that'll work out there. But what I do is I go to, and it's not on here because I'm not logged in, but I will go to my trade history and I will search the coin that way. And say if I'm looking to see what I've done with Steam in the last month, I'll set the dates to such an event, Steam, and then search for Steam and see all the buys and sells it had. That's what I do when I want to look at history of a particular trading coin. So yeah, thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.